This is Campus News, reporting the top stories from colleges and universities.
Next on Campus News, some students are searching elsewhere for fast cash after a Fargo business closes its doors.
Students are serving up something you usually don't find in a lab.
See how these pesky puddles are causing problems around area campuses.
A group of MSUM students spend their spring break traveling while working hard to help others. Good morning and welcome to Campus News. I'm Ezra Vandeninde.
And I'm Macy Eglund. A rape investigation on the NDSU campus took an unusual turn when the alleged victim was arrested for making a false claim.
On March 24th, an alert was sent out by the NDSU Police Department warning students a white male wearing a blue ski mask had forced the victim into a vehicle, drove her to a different location, sexually assaulted her, and returned her to the parking lot. 2 days later, police arrested 20-year-old Mary Gullickson, a junior at NDSU, for making a false report to law enforcement. Gullickson pleaded guilty to the charge of filing a false report, which is a Class A misdemeanor. Prosecutors have asked for a psychiatric evaluation and a year of supervised probation. NDSU stressed the seriousness and impact false claims can have.
About 3% of rapes or sexual assaults are falsely reported, and that's across the nation. So we work hard at restoring the faith in the other victims and letting them know that we have plenty of resources here on campus.
Gullickson made the false claim after trying to arrange a fake rape through an ad she posted on Craigslist.
Some students in the Fargo-Moorhead area are looking for another way to make extra cash after a Fargo business shuts its doors for good. Reporter Arista de Serrano has the story.
Thanks, Macy. Recently, one of Fargo's largest employers, Prax Institute, shut down and more than 300 people are out of jobs. Prax Institute conducts medical research on people and pays them thousands of dollars. College students rely heavily on this income, and this is a big blow to them. For MSUM exercise science major Eric Brecker, Prax was a way to help pay for school without getting a part-time job.
It's kind of weird, but it kind of makes your heart sink because you're just like, oh no. I was planning to do one, and then, well, now you can't.
With future studies planned, he now has to find another way to earn some cash. Even though it wasn't a pleasant experience, Brecker says it was all worth it and would have done it again.
Basically, it's my job. It's how I make my money. It's my financial income. I figure it's a good way to focus on homework while still going to school.
Julia Rowland, interim director for first-year programs at MSUM, did a Prax study while she attended school and says it was very popular among her friends.
I did my Prax study because I was a college student and I didn't have a full-time job. I do think with 3 colleges or 4 colleges in the area, it really caters to that population that can't kind of work all those hours and have such random hours, but maybe have their weekends off. So I think it was a really good option, so I'm sad that it's not here.
While Prax has helped many college students like Brecker through its 30 years in Fargo, it seems students will have to find new avenues of getting that much-needed tuition money. Arista de Serrano, Campus News.
Lillistal Research is a similar drug testing company in Fargo, and they have seen an increase in volunteers since Prax closed.
MSU Moorhead is undergoing big changes after the president finalized the school's academic realignment plan. The realignment will rename certain colleges and move departments around within them. This means that some department chairs and professors will now report to a new dean. The 5 new colleges within MSUM are the College of Business and Innovation, the College of Education and Human Services, the College of Science, Health and the Environment, the College of Arts, Media and Communication, and the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. Reporter Matt Gleason spoke with President Szymanski about how this realignment will affect MSUM students and faculty.
When you're changing something that is seemingly working fine, the first question is a simple one. Why?
We're really seriously trying to make sure that our students are well prepared, not just for their first job, but for the jobs as they evolve over time.
The president says it's the intent of the realignment to prepare students for an ever-changing job market by exposing them to other majors.
It's very much evolving to be problem-based teams, cross-disciplinary work, a lot of communication skills, leadership skills. So it's evolving beyond that single discipline job of the past.
The effects of the realignment may not be felt right away. Matt Gleason, Campus News.
President Szymanski says the realignment won't create or terminate any jobs and should have little effect on students' daily operations.
This year's heavy snowfall is once again creating concerns for Fargo-Moorhead, and area campuses are prepping for another flood fight. In the past, students from MSU Moorhead, NDSU, and Concordia College have all volunteered to fill and lay sandbags throughout the community. Fargo Sandbag Central opened up this week to prepare for the flood. It's expected that students will play an important role again this spring.
Especially here at NDSU, we've got a very tight-knit group when it comes to the flood. You know, that in 2009 they predicted I think it was 14,500 people from NDSU, individuals, went out of the 18,000 graduate and undergraduate students.
MSUM President Edna Szymanski says with worries about flooding coming up nearly every spring, getting ready for the worst is becoming routine.
Been there, done that. I mean, we're so good at this, it's unbelievable. We have already dusted off the flood preparation plans. We have physical plant assessing the classic areas of vulnerability. Our continuity of operations plans are being updated as we speak. And yes, we are working with the faculty union to make sure that there is a communication.
In the event that on-campus classes are canceled, President Szymanski is encouraging professors to create a plan with their students to continue lessons online. While students prepare to face a tough job market, one industry promises a bright future for graduates as its field continues to grow, literally. Agriculture science has become a popular major in universities across the nation. It offers a variety of classes on technology and business in agriculture. A study by the Georgetown Public Policy Institute shows only 3.5% of agricultural college graduates are unemployed. That's one of the lowest industries on the market. The same study found the Midwest to be the best region to pursue agricultural careers.
When it comes to cooking, college students have a reputation for making ramen noodles and pizza rolls.
A program at NDSU is showing students their way around the kitchen and introducing them to the business of the food industry. Reporter Brian Ashburn has the story.
When you think of a laboratory, chemicals and cadavers come to mind. For this NDSU lab class, instead of Bunsen burners and beakers, they use baking pans and blenders. The dietetics program at NDSU is a unique major that teaches students how to build nutritional diets for clients.
I like food and I like helping people. So, just put the both of them together and this is what you get.
The Food Service Systems Management class is a course within the program that gives students hands-on experience.
This one's really nasty.
Of what it's like to manage a restaurant. And while the students enjoy their tasty homework,
I really enjoyed the salmon.
Their lab includes more than just kitchen work.
The 800 Cafe today. What is your reservation?
The students serve up their delicious education to 60 patrons every week, with each meal having around 800 calories.
That is the guidelines from the USDA.
From cooking, to cleaning,
13 people coming,
to managing, it's safe to say that the only thing more well-rounded than the meals is the class itself.
And then the sauce on the side is a chipotle mayo.
With photographer Melissa Steffen,
Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome.
Brian Ashburn, Campus News.
The 800 Cafe is open every Thursday and Friday in NDSU's Family Life Center building. Meals are $8 a plate.
2 other area universities are also doing what they can to support healthy eating on campus, and they're being recognized for it. The website greatest.com ranked the University of North Dakota the 3rd healthiest college in the country. The study says UND's use of locally produced crops has helped students get a better choice of fruits and vegetables. The study also ranked St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota, number 8. A St. Olaf administrator says the school's ranking is because the students have decided to make smarter choices for the campus, including eliminating bottled water.
MSU Moorhead's Hendricks Wellness Center is also encouraging college students to become healthier both inside and out. Reporter Jackie Oman tells us more.
The Hendricks Center educators encourage students to stay healthy by working out and to love the body they are in. They want students to understand their mission to ensure health to all people.
Healthy doesn't have a certain body type.
One educator, Olivia Rurich, says that the center encourages students to enroll in workout classes, which are designed to have people break a sweat and burn calories while still enjoying themselves.
There are some days where it's like I don't have a lot of energy myself, and then I'll get in front of everyone and they just pump me up, and everyone's just willing to work really hard, and it's a lot of fun.
Other students on campus are also educating their peers on body image awareness. A couple resident assistants on the MSU campus thought of their own ways to encourage people to love who they are and to stay healthy by showing a body image documentary.
It's fun to look back at like old films or old movies and compare them to the ones we have now.
The students watched a movie called Misrepresentation and did activities to enhance a positive body image.
Really, we just talked about what we think it means or what beauty should be defined as.
The Hendricks Center educators are confident that their on-campus support will go a long way. Jackie Yeoman, Campus News.
The Hendricks educators believe more people are becoming aware about body imaging and hope they will take steps to being more healthy while staying happy.
Students from both sides of the border gathered at NDSU to discuss what they've learned by digging in the dirt. Students showed how plants like these go beyond what you can see with the naked eye. For one student, the symposium gave her a place to share her interest of plants and to talk about her research findings.
I think it's a really good opportunity to bring students from Canada and the United States together, learn about different projects that are going on in different places, and you can make the connections.
Jeffrey's team presented its findings to judges and other students who asked questions about their research and how it will impact the agricultural world. The symposium also gave students the chance to network with people they may someday work with side by side.
North Dakota State University researchers have developed a way to create what they like to call smart paper. Smart paper is embedded with a microchip that uses radio frequency identification. This allows the paper to be tracked using radio signals. Smart paper can be used for things like lottery tickets and election ballots. One of the main benefits is to prevent counterfeiting. The developers say the smart paper could reach the market in the next year or two.
Many college students think they can hear just fine, but new research suggests that up to 1/4 of them may actually have evidence of early hearing loss.
And as reporter Cassie Cowler tells us, many students are bringing it upon themselves.
Whether it's designer headphones or tiny earbuds, college students have their tunes just a cord away. But one MSU hearing science professor warns that earbuds can pose a danger if the music is turned up too loud.
Yeah, well, the sound is picked up by the eardrum, and then in your middle ear there's these little bones that vibrate, and then that sends a signal into an inner part of the ear, which has little hair cells, and that's what transmits the signal via the nerve up to the brain. And so what happens is that music, that loud music, actually damages or kills those hair cells and causes hearing loss.
This level of sound for long periods of time can put listeners in a real danger for permanent hearing loss.
My phone has a maximum volume of 15, and it warns you when you reach the 13. It says something about, loud noise could damage your ear. So usually I stay around 13 or below that, but sometimes I go loud.
Hair cells in the inner part of the ear die or damage, and then you have hearing loss. Plus, a lot of people will have ringing in their ears or tinnitus.
Whenever I listen to loud music, it's in my car, so I usually blast it up, and I've noticed some need to recover after I get out of my car and go into a building or something.
Drake's advice to students is to take breaks and limit the earbud use to about an hour a day. Cassie Cowler, Campus News.
Hearing loss can also cause negative side effects to mental health and social development.
The MSU Moorhead Planetarium and the Red River Zoo came together to bring the zoo to the sky. The Sky Zoo program was created to teach children about the animal constellations. The children were taught about both the Greek mythology and information about the matching land animals. They did this by finding the constellations and watching a video provided by the Red River Zoo.
I thought we have a wonderful zoo in town with some animals that match the animal constellations in the sky, so let's partner up and produce this show with them.
Sky Zoo shows every Saturday morning at 11 and will run through May 18th.
12 hours may seem like a long time for a party, but for Concordia students, it seemed just right to raise money for children in need. Reporter Jenna Weinberger tells us more about this unique event.
Students at Concordia College volunteered at the Cobberathon to give these special children a day to remember.
Every child attending the event is a patient at the Sanford Children's Hospital. A chance for children to act like kids is all their families could hope for.
So obviously he's our first.
For the Michael Best family, this was something they were extremely grateful for. The Michael Best family has a 2.5-year-old son, Tylen, who is a patient at the Sanford Children's Hospital. For the past 2 years, Tylen has gone to receive treatment once a week.
When we do have hospital stays, which we haven't had to have too many, it's caring for them and having the toys for them so that they can just play and be kids even though they're in a hospital, and that's a huge thing.
The Cobberathon was created to raise money for the Sanford Children's Hospital to help families like the Michael Busts.
It's really fun. So just seeing the campus community kind of embrace this organization has been just awesome.
Concordia coordinators are hoping to raise $10,000 for the Sanford Children's Hospital. Like Tylen, every child at the event had a story. With the help from Concordia College, those stories were heard.
I heard this is the 3rd year, and I would love to be a part of this, down the line, because this is just tremendous. Our son is off running and having fun and dancing and trying to watch people hula hoop and whatnot. At 2.5, that means the world to have an open space for him to play for a day. So, thank you.
The Cobberathon gave hope to families like the Michael Busts by letting kids act like kids. With photographer Ben Gumringer, Jenna Weinberger, Campus News.
The Cobbers raised more than $12,000 for the Sanford Children's Hospital.
If you thought 12 hours was a long time for a fundraiser, try 46, and dancing the whole time. The annual event Thon, put on at Penn State, is the longest dance marathon in the country. Its goal is to raise money for a worthy cause. This year, it was pediatric cancer and childhood diseases. The marathon raised more than $12 million for the Penn State Hershey Medical Center. To date, the group has raised more than $100 million to help children in need.
Minnesota may be known as the land of 10,000 lakes, but looking around the campus of MSUM, you may think it's 10,000 puddles. Reporter Rebecca Liebach tells us about the dangers of these pesky ponds.
Snow is melting, the sun is shining, and people are walking a lot slower around campus. Spring has definitely sprung at MSUM. But with spring comes one thing not too many people are fond of: puddles, and lots of them.
They're annoying, they're sort of hard to walk around, you have to walk through traffic.
Sojourn, it's a task, it's something laborious, and it's not just campus, it's the surrounding area too.
Although puddles like this one outside of MSUM Center for Business may seem harmless, you never know what's underneath that water. It could be potholes, it could be broken cement, and this can cost you a lot of money in damage to your car.
I've seen cars come in with bent rims, the tires blown, have to get an alignment, parts are bent. I mean, that bill was probably $1,400
Tyler at Corwin Churchill says the most common problem is the alignment.
And if your alignment's off too, which is something you won't be able to tell when you're driving, actually, that can cause your tires to wear bad, start feathering and stuff. Basically, it can cost you a set of tires way before you'll need them.
Rather than risking damage to your vehicle, trying to avoid the puddles may seem like the best choice.
I usually try to map out like the best way to go around it.
Although around MSUM, avoiding these little pools of water may be pretty difficult. Rebecca Liebach, Campus News.
One more issue to watch out for is salt buildup in the puddles. This can ruin the paint on your car if it isn't washed off. And now we turn it over to Colin Boyles for a look at this week's sports.
So the Gophers finally got a NCAA tournament win.
They did, but followed it up with a loss, and they actually fired their head coach, so wasn't really a big win for them. Thanks. The Minnesota Gophers basketball team let go of their head coach after winning one game in this year's NCAA tournament. Tubby Smith was fired as the Gophers men's coach on March 25th following their loss in the third round to Florida. Smith coached the Gophers for 6 years and led them to an overall record of 124 wins and 81 losses. Smith led the Gophers to 3 NCAA tournaments, but was only able to get 1 victory. Waiting for their time to get outside, the MSU Moorhead Dragons football team is looking to get better indoors. The coaches are now raving about a new scoring system in place to maximize weightlifting results. Reporter Kenny Buck has the story.
The weight room, where athletes put plates to bars for one purpose: get better.
With this mentality in mind, strength and conditioning coach Travis Anderson developed a way to make the sets, the reps, and the overall workout competitive.
The winter's been very good for us, and what we were trying to do was basically develop a culture, high work ethic, and competition were our two biggest things. And so we kind of created a point system that we measure everything we do.
Everything includes performance, attitude, effort and toughness, and accountability. After just one off-season with the system in place, Coach Anderson has seen drastic improvements that has caught the attention of head coach Steve Lockway.
I really think Travis has done a great job with the weight room. We've implemented a scoreboard in that, which has really driven the competitive level to new heights.
Out of the 55 guys we had, 2 guys not get personal records, so it went pretty well.
With new heights come new rewards. So, how do you reward an exhausted, worn down, hungry football player? With a free steak and potatoes dinner served up by Coach Anderson himself to the top 3 finishers. Kenny Buck, Campus News.
Running back Zane Medhog won top honors on the offensive side, while linebacker Nick Seedorf finished first on the defense. MSU men's rugby faced off against the women's swim team in a game that blends both sports into one high-endurance event. The two teams faced off in a friendly game of water polo in the Nimzik pool. The sport is not common in the U.S., but is played in many countries overseas. The game takes place in the deep end of the pool, where swimmers must try to move the ball toward the opponent's goal to score.
You're not allowed to touch the side of the pool, so you have to continue to kind of tread water and move that way and swim. Other than that, the rules are pretty much don't kill each other.
As you might have expected, the swimmers took down the rugby athletes in commanding fashion. Participation in sports like basketball and football usually ends after playing in college or high school, but 2 MSUM graduates are looking to keep people involved in a sport that could last a lifetime. Cami Raisler tells us their story.
From competitive swimming to simply having fun with the sport, coaches that previously swam at MSUM are sharing their knowledge about swimming and love for the water with the Red Dragons Swim Club.
I love the kids' enthusiasm. They're really excited, and I love being able to show them and watch them progress and see how excited they get to do that.
Coaches Krista Kraus and Olivia DeGrunchi spend their weeknights coaching the members of the club. They pass on several things that their collegiate swim team taught them.
I swam for MSU for 4 years, and of those I was coached by Todd Peters, and he did a fantastic job just teaching, kind of the basic drills to help your stroke technique improve, and I think that's one of the greatest things that we use here with our swim club.
The Red Dragons range from 6-year-olds to high school swimmers. They all use the club to help push themselves.
I want them to be able to set goals for themselves and learn how to do that and learn the process of getting their goals.
Some members are on high school teams and use the club as additional practice.
It does help me very much with my high school swim club. It helps me get in train for the season.
The Red Dragons coaches instill in members that swimming is not only beneficial for short-term fitness.
It's one of those sports that, 20 years from now you can hop in and you can get in shape by swimming.
I'm gonna swim forever, definitely. It's just a good lifelong skill to have.
With photographer Sam Morse, Cami Raisler, Campus News.
The Red Dragons was founded in 2008 and also created a diving club this year. The Ralph Engelstead Arena in Grand Forks may not be the home of the Fighting Sioux anymore, but one man will hold on to that feeling for at least a little while longer. Mike Dvorak from Pisac, North Dakota bought the sign that used to spell out Home of the Fighting Sioux on the arena. An auction started in mid-March for the sign, and the winning bid was $8,000. The letters were auctioned to try and cover the costs of removing the sign and 5 others around the arena. So is there any team that you would do that for?
I don't think so. That's a lot of money.
Maybe the Dragons, I don't know. Thanks, Colin. Sleeping bags and long bus rides. Not the ideal experience most college students would want for their spring break, but for one group, it was their way to make an impact. Reporter Catherine Meneby was with them all the way.
Dedication, persistence,
Can we do it?
and teamwork.
Doing work, Russell, that's right.
Those traits embody 40 students from the MSU Moorhead chapter of Students Today, Leaders Forever.
It was absolutely amazing.
During spring break, these students chose to pay it forward, volunteering time and service in a new city each day. From Iowa all the way to their favorite stop, Texas. Here, students are not only excited about the warm weather, but were ready to maximize their time at the Urban Garden Coalition. They got their workout plowing a new row for spring planting. Youth Programs Coordinator Jonathan Bruce says these volunteers help the coalition to fulfill its mission.
They've been really friendly, really great, really hardworking. You can see how much work they've already done so far. I've really enjoyed getting to know them and seeing what work they can do in a small amount of time.
Those involved say what makes the project successful is the camaraderie and teamwork of all participants.
We didn't really know what to experience. We had a vague idea. But now that we got out and have done so many things, it really flowed together, and it's been really, really, really gratifying.
While some students chose to relax on the beach this spring break, these students were eager to explore
A little bit of magic.
and to embrace a new experience.
What is it?
A bug.
From Waco, Texas, Catherine Meneby, Campus News.
The group's next major project is the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life on April 13th. And that's it for this edition of Campus News.
We leave you with another look at the Red Dragon swimmers.
Thanks for joining us and have a great week.
Campus News was produced by the Television News Workshop in the Department of Mass Communications at Minnesota State University Moorhead in cooperation with Prairie Public Television.